At the outer edge of Europe, the small island of Skye is feeling the full force of Brexit. The McKinnon family has been fishing for 3 generations. The fishing sector was one of the most vocal supporters of Brexit in Britain because of catch quotas. But now, especially those who fish for cod or halibut are disappointed.
When it comes to the fish, that's where you get a lot of problems for all the other fishermen, and they all thought with Brexit we'd get our quota back and whatever, which didn't really seem to be the case. It's still, I think we might have got a bit of quota back, but not much.
The McKinnon's langoustines, crabs and lobsters are still mostly exported to the continent. When adjusted for inflation, the prices for this seafood have fallen, and there's more paperwork and bureaucracy involved in selling abroad now. The Scottish salmon industry is an important employer in Skye. It estimates Brexit accounts for annual losses of up to £100 million because of the increased costs of exporting salmon. Brexit is also impacting the island's infrastructure.
The Highlands of Scotland benefited greatly from being in the European Union, so we've lost all that, and now we have to rely on handouts from Westminster, and they're not as good as we had before. So
the British government promised the Scots that Brexit would pay off. They said Scottish products would then be exportable to new growth markets via a new free trade agreement with the Indo-Pacific region. But the people on Skye have yet to see even a trace of that.
The biggest problem for us is just the crew. It's the getting people here, because at least before, there's the Eastern Bloc, we had a lot of Romanians, Eastern Europeans all coming to work here.
Tourists flock to the picturesque island in summer. There used to be seasonal workers from the EU. Today they're hard to come by.
if you look at some of our really top quality hotels, 4-star hotels, award-winning restaurants, they have to cut back on the number of people they can take into their premises because they haven't got the staff to cater for them.
People on the little island say Brexit is responsible for all of that.
I was against it, and I'm still against it. I know people who voted for it. None of them would vote for it today.
Prices here have gone up a lot. People are blaming Brexit. They're saying it's harder to get goods in and out.
I think it is worse, 100%. And there doesn't seem to really be a plan for Brexit. Like, what's the plan? Like, we've been in it now for a while, and we've not done nothing about it, you know?
Aren't there any locals who are benefiting from Brexit? Ian Morrison works in construction. Here the problem is a shortage of skilled labour that used to come from Eastern Europe. The 31-year-old says he doesn't have to worry about anyone taking his job, but he still doesn't view Brexit as beneficial.
It slowed the island down a bit, slowed building down. Yeah, the materials and getting stuff here. Obviously it's an island, it's a struggle anyway, but I would say it definitely had its effects.
Estimating the exact financial impact of Brexit on Scotland is complex and depends on various factors. But the pro-European Scottish Government puts the losses of available funds in the billions. During the coming parliamentary elections in Britain, the Scottish nationalists will try to capitalise on the Brexit blues. McKinnon says the strategy could work.
A lot of Scotland voted to stay in the EU. They didn't want Brexit. So I reckon the only thing that may come from it is independence, because a lot of people want to go back into the EU.
Surveys show no current majority for independence, but discontent with Brexit is evident, extending beyond the Isle of Skye.